You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum. Welcome to Miranda's World.
Hi, Miranda.
Hello, this is Chris Spangle and the fabulous co-host, Miranda. That's me.
All right, how are you?
I'm doing great. I was just like, yeah, I was waiting for the applause to end.
This is the very first porch podcast I've ever done. We're on your back porch. I'm actually at your house.
Yeah, this is actually Miranda's World.
And we're Facebook Living, so you can go and watch. Miranda's not wearing a bra, so you can go check that out. Wow, okay.
Got pegs.
Her boyfriend Joey is voluntarily putting his girlfriend's boobs on the internet. That's how you know you got a real man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to make profit.
Right. And so on the last I don't know if it was on the last episode, but you put out in one of the, maybe it was the unreleased version, that you were selling nudes.
Yeah, we talked about, because, well, the joke was that every time something happens at We Are Libertarians, I will go in all caps and say, what about my nudes?
Are my nudes safe?
And so now people think that you have a database of my nudes somewhere.
Oh, I mean, in my Snapchat,
you do, in your mind.
Yeah.
Your spank bank.
Yes. So have you sold any nudes?
I actually have been selling nudes. I have been actually giving nudes away as a gift, which was part of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like people are donating to my podcast and my poor choices with my money, and so they're helping me with my shopping habits and things, and also drugs. So. That's wonderful, and I appreciate it so much that I decided I would send out nudes to say thank you. And it's really funny because once I tagged my friend Mike Doty and said, hey, thanks, I hope you enjoyed those nudes. He didn't even know why he was sending the money. I actually just requested $20 from him on Venmo.
Right.
And he paid it, and I was just like, hell yeah. So
wait a minute. You just requested from some friend?
He's my friend. Yeah, he's my friend, and I was just feeling really, I was having a high personality moment, and like I was just checking to see if I had any money. Of course I didn't, and so he's the only person I am friends with on there. So I was like, and I at first put 200, and then I thought, no, we're gonna see, because I was like, that he definitely won't send that, but he'll like laugh at the joke. But I'm like, maybe he'll laugh at the joke and still send $20, and he did.
Oh, that's great.
And so there's my sweet babe, Emily Sweet.
Yep, there she is.
Oh my God! And she got a sexy ass car.
And
she's a babe.
She's the best.
I love her so much.
Co-host of the Chris Spangle Show now.
So
Mike sent you $20.
Mike sent me $20, and so I did send him a shit ton of nudes, which I always send my nudes out to him and his wife anyway. Not always. I'm a little bit more like, because he really wants them, so I can't just supply too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it means too much to him.
You got to tease a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I did, and so I sent them the pics. But see, like usually I'll just, if I do send him nudes, I do like Snapchat, and then I make him feel like a weirdo if he screenshots, because he'll screenshot it. But he didn't know that it would tell you at first.
Oh, really?
I'm like, Mike, like what happened? And he would try to act like his phone. I'm like, Mike, quit playing. So, and his wife did the same thing, Amanda. I'd be like, oh, I accidentally. I'm like, girl, I would have sent that to you.
And we won't mention any names to protect your privacy. Those of you out there who are asking for nudes, we had one person donate 20. I'm just like, I get the email and I'm like, wow, we got $25. That's cool. And then you told me days later, like that guy took the receipt, sent it to you, and said, hey, I just got some I just sent Chris money.
Yeah, where's my nudes?
Where's my nudes?
Ho.
So
and I was like, bitch, stay on the way. So,
nice.
Yeah, no, it was great. But so, yeah, that was the funniest marketing trick that I didn't know I was doing at the time. I thought I was trolling my friend, but instead I put the post and tagged them because they're both so awesome. Like, I knew, like, they would just laugh. I'm like, thanks for that donation. Hope you and your wife enjoy those nudes, blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, and then the phone calls start.
Uh-oh.
Then the DMs start ringing.
From Mike or the wife?
Oh, from everybody else that wanted nudes.
Oh, okay.
They're like, where do we donate? And I've told them. So I've made a little bit over $100 in a couple of days, and I need more.
That's pretty good.
Don't let that deter you.
I will say they are fire nudes.
Yeah.
I've seen them.
They're I like to say, like, they're not just your trashy, like, I just slapped a picture of my pussy on the internet. Like, they're very artistically taken, I feel.
I mean, if you're into that, there are those too, if you want those.
Oh, God, yeah. There's something for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Nudes for all.
Yeah, it's like, I don't really like to make money. I just love to grind dicks. Sorry, not sorry.
Well, you are really something.
This is what happens when you get in Miranda's world. Hey, Tina, doing my podcast. That's my Tina bitch right there. She's trying to lease some apartments. I'm not going to get too ratchet.
Oh, yeah.
Ho.
Yeah.
Start popping it on the... No, they might lease an apartment. I saw you in your car. You look so beautiful. This is Emily Sweet.
I think
she smells like an angel.
I think that those two gentlemen might actually prefer if you got a little ratchet.
Like, I was going to say, if I start getting ratchet, they moving in.
Yeah.
Give me that referral credit, y'all.
Yeah. Tomorrow is promised to no one is what that guy's shirt says.
Yeah.
Hi, Emily. How are you? So, Miranda is, she's in rare form. She sold $100 worth of nudes in the last 2 days.
I know. What? Yeah. And I haven't even started putting the pussy pics out. It's all been full frontal only.
No, Emily is also in the nude circle. That's how we bonded.
Emily was the forefront. Emily was the top recipient of like when I got these beautiful babies and decided somebody's got to see them. It was like first it was her.
Let me tell you, that was a gift sent from God. I have never been more fortunate in my entire life to receive such beautiful photos.
Yeah.
And Miranda, let me tell you, I'd pay a pretty picture to see your meow.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I've got a freebie for you. We'll be back, boys. Cut the film. Cut it.
Cut the live shot.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a wrap.
my. So,
Saturday, 2017. It's a wrap.
I got to tell you, the Farmer Tim story was a hit.
People were loving it. And you know what?
What kind of feedback have you gotten from the last episode?
People are saying, Farmer Tim is a dick. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, Farmer Tim is a dick. And so if Farmer Tim ever should get to hear that, you is a dick. But then also, it's just like, everybody's fascinated. They're like, what the fuck? Like, you have some very awesome stories. Like, who are these people? Like, how do you know these crazy people? And it's because I'm crazy.
It's because she's literally nuts. Yeah.
I literally am. Yeah. I can fit in with just anyone. And so here I am. But the funniest part about that story, though, Chris, I got in my car and I thought, oh, my God, I did not tell him the absolute best part of that story. Like the shit that will start blowing your mind.
Mm-hmm. She's inching closer to me and the camera and...
The things that will blow your mind.
What is going on? You have to go to her Facebook to watch this.
Yeah, we're living it. Whatever. You will find out after the fact. So anyway, you don't care. Anyhow, so yeah, Farmer Tim actually got far more interesting after everything where we left off. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't believe that. Like the explosive details. First of all, there are more people committing suicide.
Really?
There's another suicide coming around the bend. And then not only that...
That's a teaser. In the business, we like to promo the highlights of so there's more death coming our way.
Somebody else... I was not even speaking into the microphone. Somebody else is going to kick it. It's also going to give you a good idea of just what an asshole Tim really is. Oh, yeah. Sit on my lap, you sexy vixen.
What? I don't know what's happening. You're playing musical chairs.
Shit. I'm unplugged. I think... Anyhow, this is a very professionally put on thing. I take everything real serious.
Everything, she says she takes everything real serious.
Yeah, because you couldn't hear that because I didn't have the mic. But I take it real serious.
Yes.
So, yeah, Farmer Tim is he's a much bigger dick than anyone ever fucking thought.
I just want to pause here, and if you want to know what being friends with Miranda is like, that last minute 30 seconds of the podcast is pretty much it.
Yeah.
You're moving in a direction, but there's going to be some zigs and zags.
Yeah.
And you're not going to know what's going on.
You're not, because while I'm trying to situate everything, I'm 10 steps ahead. So I've got too much going on already in my mind. Trying to get situated before, and so I'm like thinking about long game while I'm talking, just talking out of my ass.
Right.
Yeah, and then sometime I'll pick, and then somewhere it just picks back up, and it's like, oh, she's back.
So we've got suicides coming up.
Suicide. We find out, I guess, more details that will lead into Tim's character and tell us what a real dick he is.
So let's get started.
All right, let's do it. So let's just, wrap it up, Farmer Tim,
Let's do just a brief recap for those on Facebook Live and for those who haven't listened to the last one.
Obviously, is a farmer. He has been dealing with the girls at the Hip Hugger for a long-ass time. They would go out and party at his farm, do a lot of cocaine, do a lot of drinking, do a lot of weird shit. And so
Hip Hugger is a dirty place
dirty-ass
in Kokomo, a strip club.
These women, disgusting. And so the worst of the worst.
You should
nasty.
have heard the last one.
And so those, it's like he felt like he had a real, I guess, to understand who he was. It's like he just like, I'm so much better than these women because they don't, they've never had anything. I was raised by, a good family and I, work hard and these are pieces of shit. And so that's just his real mentality. And so he thinks like he's on top of the game. And so, he always has a girl that he's taking care of and so forth and so on. They're usually real big shit shows, cocaine, you name it. So obviously they fucking. And so shit shows. And like, so obviously these women, after they start going that route, they're ready to kill theirself. Like you see them just deteriorate down into nothing before shit will hit the fan. And then he moves on to his next piece. And so I had infiltrated his circle, and just enough. So it was like a movie where it all kind of, when the playback at the end, it's like she was there every time. It's like I was always in the background, Chris Hansening his ass because I knew I didn't have to fuck up this game for these ladies that were running their shit because I knew like they shit shows. It's gonna, it's gonna do what it's gonna do. I just have been here the whole time, the voice of reason, and then he gonna come around, and he did. I did that right.
He got you a Jeep.
Oh, no, yeah, my truck Norris. It was an Explorer. And I would say what we didn't recap is over the probably 3 years that he was my customer. But again, he would leave, so it was very drawn out. I probably got, I would say, between $30,000 to $50,000. But that's not a high amount given 3 years. But at the same time, if you knew,
really, I mean,
it's not. But I mean, if you knew the time spent into it, then it's like, then it comes back up. It's like, oh, okay,
right.
Because I mean, well, think about it. You put up with Farmer Chick Dickhead Farmer Tim for 3 years for $50,000. That's what I make in a year. I mean,
right.
I don't want to put up with him.
Yeah.
But there was more, so I did. It was I mean,
for $50,000, I will put up with Tim. I mean,
yeah, but it's just it's like a couple months here and a couple months there,
right? And
then you know what I mean. Somebody else sucking that dick and getting sent home. It's okay. Yeah, he had some girls down in Florida, so that he would deal with on a regular basis. Like he had lent them the money to open up their business, and so now they're strippers and business owners down there, and like sucking his dick in the winter.
Right. He had winter mouths and he had summer mouths.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and then he was hoping to turn all this into his, dime piece.
Right.
And so, Miranda, he just was like, because he knew how awesome I was.
So let's focus in on the beginning of the story.
So, Farmer Tim, he had twin boys. Okay.
Right.
Now,
okay.
When I first met Tim, they were either turning 21 or not quite 21 yet. Now, they also were just dropped out of IU med school. They were both going to be doctors. Mm-hmm. One of them, very smart, very dedicated, hard worker, calm, level-headed kid. The other one, much more emotional, give up, don't want to put the work in to different, you know what I mean? You just kind of see it in their behavior. So they've been watching their dad be a total dick fuck all these years.
Right.
And so I know this one woman, her name is Sterling. She a woman. When I worked at the Hip Hugger when I was about 24, 25, she was probably 45 then. She probably still there. She was in good shape because I think she was probably doing like steroids with whatever other drugs she likes.
Right.
But so she used to do a lot of cocaine with old Timmy out on the farm. But I'm pretty sure she fucked one or both of his sons. I think that may be why he didn't let her come back out.
Oh, yeah.
Probably why he stopped fucking.
You don't want competition.
Yeah. And so, I mean, his boys, think about like these weird ass fucking women. And then they want to, obviously take advantage of these boys because they're weird ass women.
Really? Like, how old are the boys? Like, when you say boys, like 22?
They were like 21, but I mean, it could have been, they might have been under 20 when the fucking happened.
Okay.
Because I don't really know when it happened. I'm just like, you can tell it did. And so, because Sterling still worked there, she just, she's salty.
What does Sterling look like?
Sterling looks like my mom if she had Botoxed and stayed in really good fucking shape. Right. She had fake nice boobs, body in shape, tattoos all over. Just maybe her old skin, maybe she was covering it up with them tattoos. And so she just, I mean, she seemed like she crawled right the fuck out of a Nickelback album cover. Like The Ring, okay?
Okay.
And she goes hard. She just shows up, it's like wasted and fucking ready to do it, you know? Like riding hard. Who knows? This woman, she crazy as fuck. And she looked like she was clowning around with the Botox.
Rough face.
Clowning, yeah. Don't do it, people. So anyway, these boys have been subjected to drinking and cocaine with strippers and stuff. I'm sure it's a rough life.
Yeah, oh no, please don't subject me to stripping and cocaine.
Yeah, the guys in the audience are just like, no, please don't let that be so. But it was. So they dropped out of med school and blah, blah, blah. So now the responsible son is helping out more with the farming. He had found a church that he was going to. It was in their real small town. I think it's, what would it be? It's not Sharpsville. I don't know. It'll come to me. So anyway, super small town, going to the church. Timmy hated it. Timmy felt like, you know what I mean? It's just a waste of time. He could be working, like that was time. He could be working, da-da-da-da. The other son, he's just shit showing it up. I mean, he's just fucking partying all day, going to the hip hugger. He doesn't really have any money, so he would just go in there to drink and hang out with Sterling. No, they would talk. And so, it's just all weird. And so his boys, just seemed like they were kind of going in a path where they really, like the one just, nobody knew. He didn't know where he was going. You know what I mean? He's just partying on the farm with like any of the local townies. And then the other one, like I said, working hard, doing church. He had a little girlfriend for a while. Just simple country boys, or this one was. And so right around the end of the time I had stopped talking to Tim, he was telling me that Todd, which was the one that's much more unstable, had gotten a girl pregnant that lives somewhere in the country there around them. And she was black. And because she was black, Tim was insisting that they have an abortion.
Ooh, okay.
But Todd didn't want that. And neither did this girl.
Right.
But because Tim is who he is, Tim honestly just felt like they have no say in it.
I don't know how that works.
Right? Well, I mean, it's a manipulation shared between him and his son on that end. You know what I mean? But he is like...
Because he's probably got the son wrapped around...
the
sons,
kids live there.
Of the money. Yeah, the money, he's got them wrapped around just like the girls. Where the girls are beholden to this guy because he's got so much money, and then they start to depend on it. I can imagine it's twice as bad for a kid,
Yes.
Especially with kids with no future.
Yeah, doing drugs. And I mean, again, this is right through that revolution of when pain pills had just become an epidemic and then turned, again, from that and all the way up into heroin.
Right.
And it wasn't just with, one person that actually happened. Like that was a thing that was a very big thing at the time for a lot of people in that area and probably still is.
Sure.
So who knows what kind of drugs he was on that would be, going through that. So I'm, that's where I leave off. I don't know. Did the woman have the baby? Did she have an abortion? Did Tim fucking send some people out in the middle of the night to fucking kill her? I mean, because he, you know what I mean? He obviously just does not have a respect for other people.
Sure.
And so, again, yeah, a woman and a man who have made a baby should have no say in whether or not they keep said baby because they're pieces of shit.
Right.
Old Toddy can't do nothing and dun-da-da-da. And then this, we already know what he was saying about her. I ain't going to go there.
Let our imaginations run wild.
Yeah, run real wild.
What good old Tim's opinion of black people might be.
So then, obviously, Tim lies to me about his heart attack. He lies to me about being poor. He lies to me about not giving me money for my rent because he's poor. And then he tells me that he would give me that money if I have sex with him. That was my face. I'm like, boo. We done. We real done. Because I'm like sitting at work. I was just like, oh, this motherfucker. And so all that goes down. And of course, you know, I keep getting the calls from Tina, you know, everybody just like, yeah, Tim's still telling everybody up here that he's going to take you to court. And I'm like, bitch, I've been waiting. You tell Tim I'm waiting. Like, I love that. I honestly wish you would take me to court. I would love to show up and fucking hand it to his fucking ass with his big ass cleft chin. Boy, you gonna need that chin to support your head when you crying later.
Okay.
Right. It's that big. It could do it. So anyway, so then everybody keeps calling me. Well, then Tina, because Tina, you know, when we thought he'd had a heart attack, Tina was genuinely concerned. She's known this guy for a long time. I was, you know, it's like, okay, well, Tina calls me up one day and, you know, talking her normal shit about Tim, said this and that. And I'm just like, girl, I don't care. He ain't taking me to court. So she's like, well, did you hear what happened? And I'm like, no. And she was just like, his son committed suicide. They found him hanging in a barn.
Oh, wow.
He found him hanging in the barn.
One?
Well, my thought, she told me the name, but I just go immediately to the unstable son, right? Like, it's the unstable son for sure. He just looked like he would kill him. You know what I mean? He did. He looked like hurt inside. Like, there's something broken with this kid. And so I just thought that abortion thing pushed this kid over the edge probably. Who knows what happened? Dun, 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 dun. She keeps talking. And I'm just kind of like blown away. But I'm like, well, I'm like, you know, it sucks. But then I start telling her about the abortion thing. And she's like, no. She was like, it was the other son. The good son. And I'm like, I mean, what? I'm like, what? I mean, I guess you never really know what happened. But I'm like, what happened? Like, you had, and so you have to have some, like, what? There had to be something going on in this kid's life. Like, I mean, to everybody's knowledge or whatever, nothing out of the norm. Like, no, nothing. Kid hangs himself. Tim finds him. It was obviously a rough situation for Tim. That was hard, I'm sure. And nobody deserves that, not even Tim.
Not even Tim.
Not even. But I mean, but here's the thing. It's like, you know, I don't know because I don't talk to him or anybody up there. But it's like, I hope that through, if anything, through all that, he's maybe learned to respect life a little bit, respect the son he still has in his life, mm-hmm. And try to better that instead of just pushing your will on someone, and when they don't do it, fuck off.
Right.
So that's what I would hope comes from it. But I guess also, though, an interesting little end piece on that, because that's a sad note to end on. Tim, because he's just so out there, he hated that church so much. And I believe it's just your basic, I don't know the denomination, just a basic church.
Just a regular church.
Yeah, small town church. He's claiming they're a cult and that they had something to do with his suicide.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Because... why? No real reason.
Right.
Because he's crazy. Because he would like to blame them. It definitely wouldn't be any of those things that, you know, even I knew about in the short time I've known him and have told you good people today. Definitely not that stuff. Not that at all. And now he's tractor pulling. I guess he did it in his young days, and he's reliving the glory.
He's doing tractor pulls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is. And because I was so delighted one day when I was on somebody that, you know, I knew from Kokomo, was on their Facebook page, and then I saw a good old comment from old Timmy. I said to myself, who the fuck taught him how to make a Facebook? Like, this man does not need another fucking catalyst for his bitching and complaining. So the first thing I did was block him, because I already know he's going to be tagging me. He's going to have a day with that one. I'm like, you know what? You can go ahead and say whatever you want to about me on your page, but you ain't tagging me.
Yeah.
So I blocked him, but I snooped on his page first, of course. And so it was just weird. I saw, like, there was something about a tractor pull event that they had put on. Like, I don't know how they put it on or whatnot, but, like, because Tim is just a real hard ass, okay? So it's like he did this event in a memory of his son, the one that has now committed suicide. Tim burnt that barn down. I'm sure that, you know, I couldn't even imagine. But so now he's put on this tractor pull or whatever, and there was, like, something in the note, like the thing at the bottom, and Todd, surviving son, said, yeah, the proceeds after my dad makes back what he put into it will go to something for, and again, I don't even think it was like a suicide prevention.
Right.
It was just
The Farmer Tim Fund.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and it was just like, when I read that, I just like, this motherfucker. Back to your old fucking tricks, you fucking sad dog.
Fucking Tim. Fucking
Dude.
Farmer Tim.
You fucking motherfucker.
Fucking motherfucking Farmer Tim. That motherfucker.
How can we not end it on that note?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, that was quite a story. Quite an addendum to Farmer Tim.
Yeah, I'm like, how did I miss, like, he's such a dickhead that he wanted to force his kid to have an abortion, and then his other son commits suicide. He blames it on a church. I'm like, how did we miss all of that goodness?
I don't know. Well, I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't. I got you.
Good.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Find us on social media, Chris Spangle. Listen to the Chris Spangle Show. He's got Emily Sweet on there. You got to find out. Emily is just all the rage in the artistic industry and entertainment industry. I love her. I'm just going to say that.
Thank you for listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at wearelibertarians.com.